Islam, Hotep, Shalom Ishkael, Salam Alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddess. I reserve all my rights without recourse. Today is Saturday, 6/1. Halfway through 2019, huh? Halfway through the year. Got a pile of lawsuits stacking up. Yeah. Pile of them. That pile right there, they all in default already. All of them. So what does that mean? They're in default. I mean, there's a warrant for their arrest. And depending on what they're in default about, that warrant is a warrant for the bank account, the assets, and even possibly worse. Even possibly worse. So next week we start, well, this week coming, start getting our declaratory judgments coming in. And whole lot of other stuff. Just want to tell whoever's listening to take initiative. You don't know what that word means, you gotta look it up. INITIATIVE. 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 I gotta look it up and see the root, the etymology of the word, the beginning of the word. But initiative, to me, is similar to willpower. It's similar to willpower. Take the initiative. Take the initiative to encourage yourself, to motivate yourself, you know, to push yourself. You'll see, I'm gonna show you all these letters. See, the letters equals lawsuits. See? That's how many letters. No responses. And if they did respond, it was a frivolous response. And I told them, if you respond with another frivolous response, I'm going to charge you $5 million per frivolous response. And you know what? I didn't get no more frivolous responses. I didn't get no more. But yeah, that's all the letters right there. And that's just getting started. That's just from last year. That ain't going back for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years, suing people who violated and took for granted, took advantage of, the situation when they shouldn't have. But they did because they assumed that, they could get away with it. They're ignorant. They're ignorant of the law. It's their fault. They don't know shit. We're going to do what we want to do. So, the only problem with that is if they ever become unignorant of the law, that's your ass. That's your ass. That's just how it goes. Where am I? Let me see. Hold on a second. It's just like when they lock you up and send you fake ass public defender or lawyer, whatever, right? And they tell you, we can work a deal out. Get out of here. All we're gonna give you is probation. You can go home. And you'd be like, man, I just want to get the hell out of here. I just want to go back home, see my mama, see everybody, keep doing what I've been doing, stay out of this place, right? So they take you in there, make it look like you in a court trial, say a bunch of shit like you ain't even standing there, and then make you sign a piece of paper that nobody else signs. Usually it's either a stamped signature or a printed looking signature. Nobody else signs it but you. And you don't read it because shit, you ready to go. Get the hell up out of here. Shackles on your wrist, maybe on your ankles. They feeding you poison, calling it sandwiches and chips all day and juice and milk. It's poison. So you don't even read the paper. We don't even read the paper. And what the paper say? It say, I know that I have a right not to be having to go through none of this shit, but I'm going to sign that right away and take probation. That's really what it says if you read it. But see, you got crackers call themselves teachers running the so-called schoolhouse that we dump our children off at. We've been dumping them off at for the past 100 years and wonder why most of us can't read. I just got up. Yeah, I know my bed ain't made. I usually stay up to about 5, 6 in the morning. Last night, I don't remember what time I went to sleep, but I have about 5 or 6 affidavits to type up to go with more affidavits. I have some certificate of non-response affidavits to type up. A lot of paperwork. But thankfully, able to keep it organized. Let's see. It's like the movie Rocky. I love that movie. You put yourself in the harshest, hardest conditions, right? to prepare for his battle. Where his opponent, he had all the fancy gadgets, gizmos, all the most expensive hardware, software. Berries, strawberries, watermelon, pineapple, some spices. Okay, no artificial fructose. I usually drink one of these a day, and I'll get all kind of different fruits to make it with. Okay? Alright. I say okay a lot. I mean to say alright. We're going to have a course on divine healing, alright? Divine health. Alright, you're going to learn how to be a healer in your tribe, in your clan, in your nation. There's no disease that you will not know how to heal. Alright? Yeah, you're going to have a black card, unlimited. You're going to have, maybe a yacht and houses everywhere. And all of that is good. But if your child gets sick, can you heal them? If your mother or father fall, can you pick them up? You know? These are those times where the wheat and the tare will be separated. The goodness and the not goodness be separated. And we must accept, we must make a conscious choice, we must persevere to be the good. Goodness abounds. I've been hearing and listening past 2 or 3 years, and this notion of everyone says, they're from here and we're from there, and we're not from here and we're not from there. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Some things that I hear. The maxim, one of the first maxims of the trust says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So, but you want to tell me and you want to tell yourself, oh, I'm not from there. I'm from over there. I'm from here. I'm American. I ain't African. I'm Caribbean. I'm not American. I'm Mexican. I'm not Latino. It says the earth. The earth. And everyone on the earth knows who came from the earth first. That's not a mystery. That's what the war is, to keep hidden. because the pale-skinned people are the children of the dark-skinned people. Period. There's no way around that. Doesn't matter if you were born in Russia, China, Ethiopia, which is Africa, America, which is America, Canada, same thing, South America, Venezuela, Australia, doesn't matter. What does matter is connecting yourself back to the beginning, connecting yourself back to your land, to your lineage, which means your bloodline. My last name means son of David, king, father of Solomon the king. We have a family crest that goes back a very long time. Take the time to spend time with grandma and grandpa and ask them, what are your parents' names? Where were they born? When is their birthday? How many children and other wives and marriages did they have? Find out as much as you can. Write it down. Make a story out of it if you have to memorize it. Couple people at this hotel, they really pissing me off, because all of a sudden my hot water pressure, is not right. And yesterday, the maintenance man, he pretends that the water is high when I'm sitting here telling him, fix my hot water, Because I told the owner, I say, look, as long as everything is peaceful, there's harmony, all right? You won't have any further litigations from me. All right? I'll be here until I leave, whenever that is. However, some of these employees, and I know they don't know the situation, but that's still no excuse to treat guests without the utmost professionalism, responsibility, consideration, right? And courtesy. And I want because my hot water was fine. Like, I wasn't complaining before. Now my hot water is giving me a problem, and so I'm just gonna send him a letter, and in that letter it's gonna be a copy of the notary certificate of dishonor by non-response, non-performance. Then, along with it, I'm gonna write a handwritten letter, make a few demands. So And if those demands are met, then I'm going to kick them off the whole piece of land. Just for being rude. Just for having people that work for you as rude as fuck. When I run my companies and people work for me, if they don't have the same sense of considerations for other individuals as I do, and I'm the boss, then you're fired. Period. I don't care what their skin tone is. That is not allowed in a place of my establishment, in my business. If I got a problem with people's skin tones, I definitely won't bring that problem into my business because I'm a businessman. And I don't hire people who put me in a situation where I got to show up because you didn't take care of my business like I hired you to do. Instead, you have me in litigation. So, you shouldn't have to tell people that they run $1 billion company. Because I promise you, if the shoe was on the other foot, they'd be calling the police on me and doing whatever they can to harm me and get some type of remedy. Just like they do us all day, every day. But when you run up on the wrong one doing all that too, then that's going to be the end of you. So that's going to be your checkmate. Now, if you're running around and you're playing chess with everybody's life, and you're playing chess to make a profit with people's lives, then you take the chance of losing. Take a chance of losing. So, I hope this is a good example. That's what this channel was created to be. Because once I start making these videos, then that'll be what's there for someone to take and use for themselves. You know, if this doesn't sprout under your foundation, then you need to check your soil for parasites. Because this seed is a fruitful seed. And it's planted on purpose and with purpose. No matter how it looks. I want it to look how it looks because I know how we are. We only look for shit that glitters, that shines bright. But not all of us, though. So I know if you're listening with purpose, on purpose, and with divine guidance. My red passport should be here soon. Gonna show that to y'all. There's a difference between the red and the blue passport. As a part of this organization, you will own the red passport, not the blue passport. So, I urge you to take consideration as you hear about these so-called rules that they're making. You got to have a certain type of identification or you will be classified as a slave. That's what they don't tell you. What they tell you is you won't be able to fly, you won't be able to go outside the country or whatever, or some Real ID Act and all of that. All right. Now, if you don't pay attention, if we, I say you, I mean we, all my skin folks, we might be kin folks, but we definitely skin folks, because we look alike. And if you look past the skin and see the bones, you'll see we're all shaped alike in a whole lot of ways. And that's how you know someone has your blood. As it is written, the life is in the blood. That is a very, very powerful statement that you should never forget, because it has many meanings. It's like type and shadow. I was attacked last year, and I'm going to tell that story in this book that I'm writing about complete health and wholeness. And I have 12 months worth of images to show proof. And then I show you how I used fruits and vegetables, how by changing my diet completely, reversed and removed the poison. Right? So why I bring it up? Well, right now, if you live in an area where all you have to eat is fast food, all right, that is the reason why you always having some type of sickness in the house. All right? Don't be afraid of it, just accept it. You've been surrounded by your enemies and they control your food. So what are you going to do about it? It will help to figure out how to slowly wean yourself, okay? Yourself. Because it's going to be hard telling somebody else, hey, stop eating that, stop eating that. That's not good for you. Start with yourself. off of any type of fast food, processed food. All right? A lot of these restaurants, they're selling processed food. You know, they're selling garbage. A lot of them. You got to remember, a large percent of big companies work for the same company, U.S. corporation, call themselves United States. All right? Who make it their business to get government contracts so that they can wear government uniforms and call themselves government. That's a smart-ass company. That's a big-ass company, too. Not the biggest, but they're pretty big. All right? But they realize the power of becoming an organization that benefits its members. Because being an employee of the United States, even though you work for such a despicable owner, you know, they get their benefits. So their business model works for them, even though, you know, if you know, someone